Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in today's video, we are taking a look at what happened on the cryptocurrency market. If you are unaware with the situation, well, basically yesterday, all the cryptocurrencies went down a lot. And I actually predicted that whole move before it even happens a few days back. So in this video, we will take a look at that and I will show you guys how I did it. So before we start, if you could just please leave a like under the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also follow me on Instagram, which is right here. I would truly appreciate it, and I am sure that you can get a lot of value only by following me and looking at my content. So like I said earlier, today we are taking a look at what happened on the cryptocurrency market, more specifically on Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum. All of the big cryptocurrencies actually went down a lot, and we had a big down move on those currencies. Now, like I said, I predicted that whole move and I knew it was going to happen. Of course, I have proof to back that up, right? I'm not just saying that and acting as if I knew everything, and in reality I predicted nothing. No. I will show you guys when and how I predicted that. So I will run a short clip right now. What you're about to watch is a clip of the last weekly review that I did. If you are unaware with what is the weekly review, well, it's basically a 30 minutes long video that I post every Sunday morning on the Reversal Master website, which is my training course. If you're interested in that, I will link the website down below so you can go on there and find all the information. But basically, like I said, I predicted that Bitcoin would actually get this one more drop on last Sunday. So it was a few days back, and it was obviously before it happens. So here's the clip of the weekly review when I predicted that down move. Bitcoin, nothing changed on that overall. I'm still looking at this, and I think we will see more downside happening. So no matter what they're doing here, overall what you have is still this impulse, still this correction. You have this impulse. They're making some type of correction here. It depends on what we get now, and if, for example, it starts to drop like this, then I will put all of that as the correction, right? And that could be impulse 1, 2, 3, expanding, small impulse. It's a little hard to see, but we have a nice correction here forming as well. So I will not be surprised to see the downside actually happening this week, retesting those levels, and then we can see a upside. So if you look at this, right, we have 1, probably 2, maybe another up here, and then downside. So as you saw in the video, it was pretty clear for me that it would actually go on and make a new low. When I saw that yesterday, that it actually went super fast and very aggressively, it did not really surprise me because I knew that it was eventually going to happen. I was not expecting it that fast, but I mean, it's possible. It just depends on, the volatility of the market. And sometimes you get those movements where they just happen suddenly and it just seems so fast. But in reality, like you saw, well, we can predict those movements before they actually happen. So let's jump on my screen and I will show you guys how it basically played out, and I will go further into the analysis. So let's do that. Okay, so we are now on my chart. Let's take a look at this cryptocurrency market. I will do the analysis here on Bitcoin and, just talk about that chart, but know that it's basically the same, answer and same type of analysis on all the cryptocurrencies charts, since they were all showing that downside potential. Now, let me show you where we were when I did the forecast, just so you guys know where to look for. So basically, if you remember in the video, when I did the forecast, we were around these levels and we were exactly right here. In the forecast, I said that we will see another down, another move up, and then the downside. And that is basically exactly what happened. That forecast was done very perfectly. The three moves, so the down, the up, and the big down here. And so this is what basically happened yesterday. You see that the movement was extremely strong. It went very fast. Even if we go on the lower time frame, we will see that better. You see here how fast it went, right? Basically in 2-3 hours, we were already at these levels. So it went very fast, very aggressively. Let me show you now the big picture. So overall, you see that there's nothing to panic about if you have any investments on those cryptocurrencies, because yes, we are back at the lows and we even broke them. As you see here, we broke the last low, but overall, we are making a correction, right? I think it's pretty easy just to see when you look at the chart. This is not reversing, it's not a downtrend that is starting. We're probably just making a correction. So we broke the last low right here on Bitcoin. You see that, you know, compared to all the chart, it's not a very big movement, but it's still something that is very noticeable on the chart, especially because, like I said, we broke the low. And so now the question is, how did we know that? Well, part of the answer is what you saw in the weekly review, which is that the structure in itself was telling us a lot of downside potential. If you remember, I said that here we had the impulse, we had a big correction, we got another impulse, but even on the lower time frame, here we had a small impulse, we had a small correction, and we got another down. But if we extrapolate the analysis and look at the overall picture, well, we had also something that was telling us downside, and I will show you that. So we have this impulse, we have this correction, the big one, we have this impulse. All of that can be seen as a correction. I'll not go further into what those corrections are and how to spot them while they are in the making. That's for another conversation. Here I'm showing you guys what happened and what you can learn from that. But basically, we got this big correction, the next impulse, another correction, and the next impulse. And so the key with that chart, and there's one specific basically lesson that you can learn from that video, which is why I wanted to do that as well, not only to show, you know, that I predicted the move. I mean, there's no really point of doing that, but there is a important lesson that you can learn from this specific movement. So what is that lesson? Well, basically, when everything on all time frame is showing the same direction, that is usually when you will have the best trades. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, as we saw here on the daily, we had this impulse, this correction, another impulse, another correction. That means that eventually we were expecting a down impulse. That's for the daily. After that, when we go on the 4-hour, well, we find something very similar. We have this impulse, we have this correction, we have this impulse, we have another correction, and we have this impulse. And so when we were right here, we had the daily structure that was showing downside, we had the 4-hour structure that was showing downside as well, and guess what? We had the 1-hour structure as well that was showing downside. Let me show you that. We have this impulse, we have this main correction, and we have the next impulse. And so that is the lesson that I wanted to share with you guys, is that when all time frames are showing the same direction, usually it makes the trade much better because you have a higher probability of actually being right and catching the trade. So that's really, I think, one of the main takeaway that you can have with this video, is that when they are all showing the same direction, when all time frames are showing the same next movement, well, you will get yourself into a better trade most likely, because on all time frame they're saying the same thing. And so that means that you have more chance of actually being right about the trade. And overall, if you actually take that one lesson and apply it to all the trades that you take, it will improve very much your trading into the long term. So that was the explanation for the Bitcoin analysis and what happened on Bitcoin. You also had the explanation in the weekly review, and you just learned a new lesson. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I hope that it helped you and inspired you as well to learn this skill, because that's also one of the reasons why I'm doing these videos, is to show you that yes, you can predict those movements, and when you have the right knowledge about it, then you can make a lot of money. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you like the video, please like it and share it around you. If it helped you, it's likely to help another person. So I would truly appreciate it if you could just share the video and spread the word. Alright, so take care on that and make sure you manage your money well, you trade with care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.